Baskets look lovely with summer flowers, and you can get so many shapes and sizes. Just a few tips if you want to purchase a basket is that if you want a handle with your basket, always make sure you've got a nice lot of space so that your flowers aren't arranged so they overpower and disguise your handle. Because if you've got a handle, you want to be able to pick it up. So keep the flowers low away from the handle. If you've got one like this, or even one that is lined, like the large one that I'm going to use, I always feel it's a good idea to use another container inside, because even this plastic can easily tear and water leak out onto your surface. This one here has got a handle, as you can see, but the handle is low and it will make any sort of arrangement rather difficult except for a low tapestry of flowers. And this one here takes a lot of flowers, but again, place your container inside before you start to arrange. This one here, side handles. Quite tricky actually when they've got side handles, because you're wanting to place flowers all around the container and it's very, very difficult to get them through the handles. So if you want an easy one to start with, just got a conventional one with a nice high handle. I always put a plastic bowl which is sort of easy to clean, and if you can, use chicken wire rather than foam. Flowers are so comfortable in chicken wire because they can get their stems directly into the water. And the flower I'm going to use, hydrangea, is a particular lover of copious amounts of water. The chicken wire that I'm going to use has got a 5 centimetre gauge. It is the large holes. And the reason it needs to be large is that I'm going to scrunch the chicken wire up in my hands so that the loose ends are uppermost. And you've got layers, levels of chicken wire so that the stem gets a good support. I'm going to tuck that into my plastic container so that the ends are above the rim, and then place that into the basket. I add nice clean water into my bowl, which has been very thoroughly scrubbed, because bacteria on containers does mean that your flowers won't last as long. In goes the water, and now I start to arrange my hydrangeas. I've got white, blue, pink, beautiful ones, but they're almost too big. And that's a nice problem, but one that I'm going to deal with by snipping off the little side bits here. I don't need all that. And then these, I'm not going to waste. I'm going to tuck into a small little containers I've got here, and then place those in a row down my table when I get home. So with this, take off those lower leaves, but I might add those in later. Cut them and just place it through the chicken wire angled over the basket rim. This one I recut. Always recut your stems before you place them into the foam. Squidge it in so it's a nice big mass. The basket that I'm using is big and bold with a big weave, so these hydrangeas work very well with it, like that. And then there's the pink one going there, like so. I've got some smaller ones here. These are from my garden I cut yesterday, and they just a contrast. Perhaps I'll put those just down there to fill in the spaces. Straight in, taking off those lower leaves. And I'll take a couple more. What colours have I got there? Blue? Wow, they are absolute whoppers. So, great in large-scale work, as well as in big baskets. Take off those gorgeous, long-lasting leaves and take that into the foam, like that. Follow the flow and just angle them over, like so. I'm trying to fill the basket, but not to overwhelm it. This is such a big one. Off I'm going to take that little side, like that. This is a new variety of hydrangea with a smaller floret, but it's very pretty, like so. And again, cut those short. So, then one more blue one. And so I've still got a few gaps, and I've been very fortunate. I've been given these beautiful David Austin roses, which are so special. They're like the old-fashioned garden roses, and they open and they now last. But the biggest bonus of all is they've got the most delicious fragrance imaginable. So I'm going to add these to my basket and just fill in with the roses, with my extra little hydrangeas to give a contrast of shape. I'll put one down, tuck it into there. Just to give a little bit of contrast to the form of the hydrangea. 2 or 3, and my last one there. So, a very quick, glorious mass of summer flowers, hydrangeas and roses, and if you want to, you could just place a little bit of green between, tuck it into so that it touches the water, and it just breaks a little bit. You don't want too much green showing. The emphasis is on the flowers, with just a touch of green. I'm now using the hydrangea leaves that I put aside before, pitted away such a beautiful leaf, and I just tuck them in so that they've got the end in water, but they're not dominating, they're just giving a touch of green, which I always believe enhances every design. Now, when doing this at home, you don't have to use a large basket like this. You can use a much smaller one, perhaps just use roses. The idea is to follow the shape of the container and to make a lovely round design of massive flowers. Do remember that hydrangeas drink water not just through the stem end, but actually through their petals. And indeed, if you've got one that's wilted, you just get a bucket of water and immerse the head under water for half an hour, and it comes, not always, but usually back to life. So keep spraying them, keep the container full of water, and you'll enjoy for your hydrangeas for the maximum time possible.